Hi, I'm Dani Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of One-on-One. I am joined today by Nancy Ballard, who is the founder and president of Rooms That Rock for Chemo. Nancy, thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So I have firsthand experience with Rooms That Rock for Chemo, and I'm so very excited to bring this to our viewers because it is a phenomenal concept idea, and I'm so glad you've brought it to fruition. So tell us how you founded Rooms That Rock for Chemo and why.
Rooms That Rock for Chemo founded me. I was at a doctor's office and a nurse asked me to donate some art to some chemotherapy rooms that were drab and dreary. And when I went and saw the rooms, I was so touched by how terrible they were that I thought that there has to be more than a piece of art on the wall. And I put a...
So you're an artist by trade?
I am an artist. I'm a botanical illustrator. But I knew that what I did wasn't enough. So I contacted several interior designers and asked if they would volunteer their time and their efforts to help recreate and revamp these chemotherapy rooms. And they said yes and thanked me for the opportunity.
So other than have sort of this affinity to art and being an artist by profession, do you have a personal connection to chemotherapy, or is cancer in your life, or you just knew that when you walked in this room, there had to be something more for these patients dealing with such emotional times and physical times?
That's what it was. I'm very fortunate. I don't have any connection with cancer in my family or any close friends, but I just saw how tragic the rooms were and how awful it must be to have to go through that, and wanted to do what I could to make a difference.
So I'm really loving what you have done to bring this all about, and that is looking at your artisan colleagues and saying, what can we do together? And as I know, you have folks that are interior designers and have access and knowledge about how to make seats more comfortable and more visually appealing, and rooms that almost become and transformed spa-like, where a very serene and comfortable setting. So tell me what you do and how you seek out those chemotherapy rooms. How do you choose where you're going to be, and some of the funding that's required for
People find me. They Google, somehow it's word of mouth, or they Google and see that there is such a possibility of having the help that they need. Mm-hmm. Then we collaborate with the community. I love the community involvement, so we get stencils donated, we get paint donated, we get the designers donated. The designers also seem to find me, and they want to be a part of it, so they're the ones that request that they be involved.
So how let's ask this: how many chemotherapy rooms have you transformed to date?
To date, we've done over 50, and we've been doing this for a little over a year. And that, I know, it's amazing.
I don't know how you're doing it.
I love it, with a lot of help. And we're throughout the United States. We're also in San Salvador. I've been there twice doing hospitals there. Okay,
so then let's move into that. What kind of setting? Is it a clinical setting? Is it a hospital setting? Where do you typically transform these rooms?
There's no typical. We've done an MRI waiting room in Sequoia Hospital. We've done private doctors' hospital, or the private doctors' offices. We've done hospitals, we've done clinics. Just depends on who puts in the request. If we can do it, we do it.
And how many patients do you think have walked through your chemo rooms?
I've been told that there's over 40,000 visits a year that are affected by what we do.
By one room?
By all the rooms.
By all the rooms.
By
the 50 rooms that you've done so far.
Correct.
So you've really changed the lives of those 50,000
I'm hoping.
Patients.
Actually, I know I am, because I get letters, I get feedback from the doctors and from the staff that it has made a huge difference.
Right. And I just want to talk, you mentioned we do have one chemo Rooms That Rock for Chemo here in Redwood City locally.
Correct.
At Sequoia Hospital, and we fondly have named that Bonnie's room.
Correct.
So tell me the story of Bonnie Adario and how she and you became connected.
I knew she, under her umbrella is Jill's Legacy, and I knew Jill Costello. She was a family friend, and the Jill's Legacy and I got together and decided it would be wonderful to do something for Bonnie. And it was supposed to be to celebrate her 5-year cancer-free anniversary. So together we collaborated and got local designers and got the paint and got the stencils and rocked the MRI room that she was in the waiting room so many times because their chemotherapy rooms were already, they looked fine. So we did that waiting room for Bonnie.
Well, and it's so exciting. She, as we know, received her treatments at Sequoia Hospital. So it was just a really wonderful connection for Bonnie Adario, who is beloved in this community as well as Sequoia Hospital. And then now the connection to Rooms at Rock for Chemo. What a great night. And we had the dedication with hundreds of people there to visit Bonnie's room. And I hope our viewers will go to Sequoia Hospital and visit the MRI room.
It's worth a peek. It's definitely worth a peek.
It's so wonderful. So if our viewers are listening and they want to jump on and help you in some way, what can we ask them to do?
The best thing to do is contact me. They can go on our website and see where we are, what we do. They can see how to donate financially on the website as well. If they're a designer and they want to donate their time, they can let me know. If they're a facility that wants us to come there, they can let me know, and then we work from that. So the first point of contact would be to either call me or to email me through the website.
And as we had mentioned to our viewers, there's a couple of different ways that people find you. It might be a patient who has experienced a waiting room that just is a clinical environment and is a little bit scary because it's so sterile as it needs to be. But there are ways that we create artistry and sterile environments.
Can still be lovely.
They can still marry each other. And it also might be that it's a nurse or a clinician or a physician who says, how do we change this room with our own limited resources and partnering with someone in the community? Do you find that that's somehow how people find you?
One of my first rooms was a patient that was in the room. She was an architect, and she contacted me and asked if she could be a part of a project to revamp the room she was actually receiving her chemotherapy in.
Right, and I think that the message, if there happens to be any nurses, clinicians, or physicians, or hospital administrators watching our program, that don't let the funding aspect be the roadblock, because there's ways in which we can all figure it out together. Correct?
Donations are huge. Like I said, with the vendors helping and then with giving financially, we have a star wall on our website where you can donate in someone's name, Christmas present, birthday present, and their name goes up on our star wall. So there's a lot of innovative ways that anyone can help.
So Nancy, what's next for Rooms That Rock for Chemo?
Well, I just got an email today, and I kind of think that it's going to be El Camino Hospital.
Oh, that is wonderful. And El Camino Hospital is in Mountain View.
Right.
And I know you're going to partner with Dr. Shane Dormandy. So what are you thinking there? Have you visited the hospital?
I haven't.
Actually, that's an important thing. What are sort of your first steps then?
After we get an inquiry, we talk on the phone, discuss the possibilities, and then I do make a site. I do make an on-site visit to see what they need, so I can find out how many designers I need, get a better picture of the whole project. So
just in thinking, that's another thing that we could call out to our viewers, and that is if you happen to be an interior designer or an artist, or this is kind of interesting to you and you want to be a part of it, they can contact you and say, put me in your bag of tricks. If there's something local and I can be a part of it, we can access them too.
Even office help. I mean, with computers and Dropbox and things like that, if you want to help in the office, you can do it from your own home. And we can always use help that way as well. Right.
Nancy, we have just about a minute left. I know you just came back from San Salvador, so and that was a wonderful experience. And I'm sorry we just have a minute left, but can you give us a brief word about that?
We had over 30 volunteers that came from San Salvador that found me on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook, and we got together and we painted over 10 rooms and stenciled them. And I mean, there were tears and hugs, and it was just amazing. Actually, we had young volunteers at this one too, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Well, Nancy, thank you so much for coming on the program, and we just want Rooms That Rock for Chemo to be everywhere, and we hope our listeners and viewers have an opportunity to go visit one and experience. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And we'll see all of you next time on One on One.